The Rice of Survival. Chapter 1. The Heat of India. The year is 1250. Close your eyes. Imagine the heat. I am not talking about a warm summer day. I am talking about heat that feels heavy. We are in India. It is the middle of May. The sun is burning hot. The temperature is 46 degrees Celsius. There are no air conditioners. There are no electric fans. There is no ice water. There is only the hot wind and the bright sun. Today, when it gets this hot, we hide. We go inside cool offices. We drink cold drinks from plastic bottles. We buy medicines and powders to keep our energy up. We treat our bodies like machines that need fuel from a shop. But 800 years ago, the Indian farmer could not hide. The farmers, the builders, the soldiers, they had to work. They had to work for 12 hours every day under the hot sun. How did they do it? History books talk about kings and wars. They do not talk about food and water. But the biggest battle for the Indian farmer was not against an enemy army. It was against the weather. It was a battle against the heat. It was a battle against thirst. Today, we look at their food and we think they were poor. We see simple rice and water. But we are wrong. The Indian farmer had a secret. They had a special way of preparing food. It was very simple but very smart. They did not have modern energy drinks. They did not have vitamins from a bottle. But they had a superfood. This food saved their lives in the hottest weather on Earth. Chapter 2. The Problem with the Sun. To understand the food, we must understand the problem. The problem was the human body in tropical weather. From March to June, India is very, very hot. When a farmer works in the field, he sweats. When you sweat, you lose water. But you also lose salt. When your body loses too much salt and water, you get sick. Your muscles hurt. Your brain feels tired. You can faint. This is called heat stroke. In Europe, the problem was the cold winter. People ate fat and meat to stay warm. But in India, you cannot eat heavy meat in the summer. Your stomach cannot handle it. The body needs to be cool. Needs water. There was another problem. The poor farmers mostly ate vegetables and rice. They did not eat much meat. Rice gives you energy. But rice does not have enough vitamins. It is low in iron. It has almost no vitamin B12. If you do not have vitamin B12, you feel weak. If you do not have iron, your blood becomes weak. A weak farmer cannot plow the field. A weak soldier cannot fight. So, the farmers had a big problem. They needed lots of energy to work. But their food, simple rice, did not have enough energy vitamins. And the hot sun was trying to kill them with thirst. They needed a miracle. And they found it in a clay pot. Chapter 3. The Cost of Food. Before we talk about the recipe, we must talk about money. The life of a farmer in the year 1200 was very hard. Whether they lived in the south or the north, they had to pay taxes. The king or the landlord took a lot of their food. Usually, the farmer had to give away half of his crop. Imagine that. You work for 6 months to grow food. And when it is ready, someone takes half of it away. This meant the farmer was always on the edge of hunger. They could not waste anything. Today, if we cook too much rice, we might throw it away. But for a family in medieval India, throwing away food was like throwing away life. But there was a problem. In the hot weather, cooked rice goes bad very fast. In just 4 or 5 hours, bad bacteria grow on the rice. It starts to smell. If you eat it, you get sick. So, how do you save the leftover rice from dinner so you can eat it for breakfast? They had no refrigerator. This problem forced them to be smart. They found a way to stop the rice from rotting. They found that if they put the rice underwater, the bad mold could not grow. Instead, good bacteria started to grow. They did not know about science. They just knew it kept them alive. Chapter 4. The Secret Recipe. Every part of India found this secret. The recipe is very simple. Anyone can do it. Here is how the farmer did it. In the evening, the family cooks a big pot of rice. They eat dinner, but they leave some rice in the pot. They do not put it in a plastic box. Instead, they pour fresh water over the cooked rice. The rice must be completely under the water. They put a lid on the clay pot. They put the pot in a cool corner of their house. And then they go to sleep. While the family sleeps, the magic happens inside the pot. The water makes the rice soft. Good bacteria from the air and the clay pot start to work. This is called fermentation. It is a slow process. Over 12 hours, the rice changes. The water turns a little cloudy. The rice gets a sour smell. It does not smell rotten. It smells like yogurt. It smells sour and fresh. By the next morning, when the sun comes up, the rice is ready. It is not just rice anymore. It has changed into a super medicine. Chapter 5. Why it is a superfood. Now, let us look at this food with modern science. What happened in that pot during the night? A few years ago, doctors at a big hospital in India studied this rice. They were shocked. The results were amazing. Let's look at the numbers. First, iron. Iron makes your blood strong. If you take a bowl of fresh, hot rice, it has about 3 milligrams of iron. That is a small amount. But after 12 hours in the water, that same bowl of rice has 73 milligrams of iron. How is this possible? Fresh rice has a chemical inside it that locks the iron up. Your body cannot open the lock. But the fermentation breaks the lock. It releases the iron. Suddenly, the rice becomes as good as a strong medicine. Second, the energy vitamins. Rice usually does not have vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 comes from meat or milk. Poor farmers could not eat much meat. If you don't have B12, you feel tired all the time. But the bacteria in the pot create vitamin B12. By morning, that bowl of rice has the special vitamins that the farmers needed. Third, the water. The water inside the pot is called torani. This water is full of salt and minerals. It is like a natural sports drink. So, when the farmer woke up at 5 a.m., he ate this cold, sour rice. And he drank the water. He was giving his body iron. He was giving his body vitamins. He was drinking electrolytes. He was ready for the hot sun. Chapter 6. The clay pot. We must talk about the pot. The farmer did not use steel or plastic. He used a pot made of earth. Clay. A clay pot is special. Clay has tiny, tiny holes in it. You cannot see them, but they are there. When you put water in a clay pot, a little bit of water sweats out through the holes. When this water hits the hot air outside, it dries up. When water dries up, it takes heat away. This cools the pot down. This is nature's refrigerator. Even if it was 35 degrees outside, the inside of the pot stayed cool. This was very important. If the rice gets too hot, it will spoil. If it gets too cold, the good bacteria will not grow. The clay pot kept the temperature perfect. Also, the clay changes the taste. It makes the water taste sweet and earthy. The farmer was using simple physics to make better food. Chapter 7. The power of waiting. There is a lesson here. It is about time. In our world today, we want everything fast. Fast food. Fast coffee. Fast results. But the farmer lived by a different clock. You cannot rush this rice. You cannot make it go faster with heat. You have to wait. You have to let nature do the work. This created a beautiful cycle. The fire cooked the rice at night. The cool water changed the rice by morning. The farmer used the night to prepare for the day. This 12-hour wait taught them patience. It taught them that the best food does not come from rushing. It comes from resting. Today we eat dead food. Food that is processed in a factory. The farmer ate living food. When they ate that rice, they were eating billions of healthy living things. Chapter 8. Food for the gods. Usually, rich people eat rich food and poor people eat poor food. But this rice was so good, even the rich people wanted it. It was so healthy that it became food for the gods. Let us look at the famous Jagannath temple in Odisha. This is a very holy place. The god there is treated like a king. And what does the king eat in the hot summer? He eats this fermented rice. It is called dahi pakhala. The kings and the priests knew that this stale rice was actually better than fresh rice. They made it holy. Because the temple used this food, the recipe was never lost. Even when there was no money, or when there was war, people remembered how to make it because it was part of their religion. The king and the farmer ate the same breakfast. One ate from a gold bowl, the other from a clay pot. But the health was the same. Chapter 9. A shield for the stomach. There is one more benefit. In the old days, water was dangerous. Dirty water caused diseases like cholera. These diseases killed many people. They killed people by making their stomachs fail. But the farmer who ate this rice had a shield. The good bacteria in the rice are called probiotics. When you eat them every day, they fill up your stomach. They create a strong wall in your gut. Bad bacteria from dirty water hate acid. They cannot live in a stomach full of this rice. So the rice was like a guard dog. It protected the farmer from getting sick. If a child had a stomach ache, the mother would give them the water from this rice. It was their medicine. Chapter 10, What We Lost. So, where is this food now? Why don't we see it everywhere? We lost it because we wanted to be modern. In the last 100 years, people started to think that old ways were bad. We were told that food left out overnight is dirty. We were told that stale rice is for poor people. People stopped using clay pots. They bought fridges. They stopped eating brown rice. They ate polished white rice because it looked cleaner. We stopped fermenting. We started refrigerating. And what happened? We got convenience. But we lost our health. Today, many people in India have low iron. They feel tired. Their stomachs are weak. We suffer from the heat more than ever. We drink sugary sodas instead of the healthy rice water. We traded a miracle of nature for a plastic bottle. Conclusion. But the wisdom is not gone. It is just sleeping. In the villages of India, the clay pot is still there. The farmer from 800 years ago has a message for us. They are telling us that the answer to our health problems is not always a new pill. Sometimes the answer is to work with nature. Sometimes the best technology is just water, rice, and time. The next time you feel the heat of the summer sun, do not just buy a cold drink. Think of the farmer. Think of the clay pot. And remember that real strength is simple. Thank you.